What's up, TJ? What you want to talk about, brother? Smooth guy.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got a special guest today in the building. Goat Talk at the Print Shop. It's a platform geared to honoring goats in our area. And you are definitely one of the greatest of all time as far as the DMV is concerned. We got Roc Mikey in the building today. Yes, sir. How are you, my brother?
Oh man, I appreciate that introduction, man. I'm honored to be considered a goat, and I'm blessed. You know, I'm blessed, man. 25 years, we kind of celebration this year for our 25th anniversary of UCB, celebrating 25 years in the game. So that's another thing that I definitely looking forward to accomplishing and celebrating and all of that. Another milestone.
Absolutely. So I want to kind of get your whole story. So I want to start from the beginning. You were born in Washington, D.C., Uptown to be exact. Tell us about growing up in D.C. at a young age from, 1 to 10, just being a youngster out there. And where were you specifically born? Like, specifically from?
Okay, I was born and raised uptown, George Avenue area, like the 3500, 3300 block of George Avenue, Georgia and Park Road, all up and down that area, Newton, Otis, Urban Street, and that's that near Hobart, stuff like that. So I grew up pretty much on the avenue. My mother had me, we was probably like down on First Street, down First and R, First and V, somewhere down there, First and W. We lived there first. And then bounced around, lived on Florida Avenue, across the street from Howard Theater. Um, then I went uptown, Park Road, Newton, Urban Street to Otis. So by the time I got in high school, um, I was on Otis, Georgia and Otis. That's the same block near the penthouse, the old penthouse called the house now. So that was my stomping grounds up and down, George Avenue throughout the years from 1 through 10. I spent a lot of time at Parkview Recreation Center. Went to Parkview Elementary School. Spent a lot of time in the area, Raymond, Bruce Monroe, Mount Pleasant, Reed Recreation Center, Cayman Boys and Girls Club. We spent a lot of time, me and my family spent a lot of time. We grew up in the club, Cayman Boys and Girls Club, down off of 13th Street. And played sports, Lamar Riggs football, played for the Blitz, played for Cayman Boys and Girls Club, Park, Parkview, Park Morton, my man E-Boy, shout out to E-Boy. And that's what I did pretty much. And then as far as in elementary, I started doing it. I started getting into the music thing, playing the trombone and stuff like that. Learned how to play the trombone, took that to Shaw Junior High School, was in a marching band playing the trombone. I ended up being the first trombone by the time I left Shaw. Went to Wilson High School. I did a little something with the band there too. I learned how to play the drums, the snare drum a little bit. Got into that. And then UCB started, probably like around 97, like my 11th grade year. We started UCB. We used to go to see, over the summer before high school, we used to go see, well, 10th grade, we used to go see Total Madness, High Image, Young Legends. There's a couple other more bands that was out. And we used to see them at C5 up there on 14th Street. C5 don't smoke the brothers, they office. Shouts out to Al Malik, Ron Moten, and all of them guys too. They used to be up there um, organizing that little event on Friday or Saturday nights. And we eventually got our own band from our neighborhood, Rock Creek, Georgia Avenue, Parkview area. And we started the band like 9-7, like I said. Shawnita, who used to manage Northwest Youngins, she became our first manager. By the way, we started the band in my mother's basement on Otis. So we started out with the band, had probably like one show up Parkview at the Recreation Center and a few practices. Then we got with Shawnita, who used to manage Northwest Youngins. So she managed both of us. Started getting on shows with them over at the Bentamani, over there with a over 20 with the 24 at, so with the Bliss and all that area at. We used to crank up there with Northwest Youngins, open it up for them. And a lot of our crowd that would come there, they'll leave after we get off stage. And Northwest Youngins, we would be closing it out. So I used to ask the crowd to stay around for Northwest Youngins to party with the old head too, you know what I'm saying? And that was like consistent. After a while, we got a little bit, we kind of outgrew that opening up for Northwest Youngins and people coming in ready to leave. So we got our own night, a couple of nights up on 14th Street. And then got with Mr. Carter. And we got with Mr. Carter, he was in for about 10 or 11 years, and we pretty much did our own thing. We wasn't under no umbrella, none of the Walk James and all them like that. And Vixen, we would play if they hire us, but like just consistently under them all the time. Now we pretty much doing our own shows, headlining our own shows at Felicity's, the Palace, our Rockville Sports Complex, Revolutionary Cafe. We had our own little situation with whoever was the promoter or owner of these clubs or venues. So we kind of made our name on our own, doing our thing. And I say around 02, 03, 04, around that time, a lot of violence and stuff picked up out of the shows and shit like that. So we try to change our direction and shit.
Let me stop you right there, because I want to go back. So you say UCB was started in 97. So who specifically was in the band at that time?
97, it was me, Marcus, that's Marcus Clark, G-Money, Bo, my little brother, Lante, Trey, Mooley, and Peeps, Big Marcus, and then Irk came a little later after that, our drummer Irk. Yeah.
So who was the first drummer?
And Big E, he was in our band, played the bass guitar. He was our bass guitar player at Big Everett. And Elmo played too, the lead a little bit. Saint Elmo.
So who was the first drummer if Eric wasn't there at first?
We really didn't have no drummer like that. We tried my man Ty Stickum, rest in peace. But he was some shit.
Dang, Moody, you had to do the band like that.
That's my man. But he was some shit on these songs. He knew it. He was just bullshitting, man. Yeah, I can play the drums. Y'all them bullshit, man. I'm like, wait, Ty, stop playing, man. So we got Moody to play the drums because he knew how to play them drums a little bit. Moody, who played the congos with us, he was playing the drums for a little bit. And we'll have Rabbit from down Hobart, used to be with Burnt Out Youngins band. The guy who made up Tap, the little beat for Tap or whatever.
Oh,
and that groove Burnt Out Youngins had. They was like backyard little youngins and shit, Hobart band. So he'll feature with us and play the congos, and Moody will be on the drums. Moody will be on the drums, or Wood will be on the congos or the drums, one of the two. So we just mixing it up, and then Irk came. Wooda, my cousin Wooda, rest in peace to him too. He was our Congo player, timbali player. He knew Irk. He went to school with him over there over by Edgewood, over that Langdon, whatever that school is over there. Yeah, so he brought Irk through, and Irk was cranking them jumps, man, and he was like, "Hey, you the drummer." So Irk, Big Everett, Peeps, Big Marcus, G Money, Bo, my brother Dundee, Trey, myself, Saint Elmo. That was the band.
UCB, you guys started out in 97. You guys are starting to gain notoriety. I personally know that I found out about UCB in 1998 when you dropped Roc Mikey. Talk to me a little bit about that record and how that record came about, because that was one of my favorite records. It was like a go-go song, but with rap. And a lot of people don't understand that. So That was one of my favorite records because I was a big rap fan at the time, but I was also, getting into go go and all
Right.
that stuff. And that really brought me. That's why UCB is my favorite band of all time. I told you that on many occasions. But tell us about how that record came about.
um, well, Rock Mikey, that jump stemmed from '98 when that was like our first year in. That's how I knew we was moving fast because Icy Ice, Ish and them from over the Icebox had reached out to us and was like, man, we got Jake Ryan on this joint, but they about to move off this joint or whatever. We want y'all to headline on over here on a Monday or Sunday, one of the matinee type joints. And they gave us our own night where we was headlining. And then they crowned me like the rookie of the year or something like that. They had something going on. Ish crowned me as the rookie of the year in 1998. So when that happened, Mr. Carter nicknamed me Rock Mikey, like crowning me with the rock or whatever. So he was like, man, you Rock Mikey. Your name, you should go with that name. So that's how I got that name. And then we made a groove off of that because that year I graduated from Wilson. I was 18. And it just all added up. I got them crown me for the rock rookie of the year. So they made a song off of that. That's where it came from for real.
Got you. So, fast forward, not too much, but a couple years. 2001, 2002, UCB is one of the biggest bands on the scene. How does that feel, and how did that come about?
Um, Doing our thing. You know what I'm saying? Like just not like waiting for nobody to book us. We was just like, we gonna go do a show. We going places. We gonna go to this. We was at '98 after the Icebox and all that stuff went on for a minute. Around '99, we was packing a coffee house on down there on U Street, cause you from being Chili Boat. That jump was packed on Sunday matinee jump. So that was getting our name up too, as well as the Felicities, the Pilots jumps we was doing. And then 2001, we was doing Revolutionary Cafe out on Central Avenue. So all them little spots we was doing and holding the jumps down, headlining on our own, we was cranking and people was coming out back then. So that's all I can say. We was consistent. We had some good songs. You know what I'm saying? We ain't, ugly looking dudes. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't all out of shape and shit. You know what I'm saying? And we was kind of organized and you could see our potential. We was always trying to like elevate and grow.
Absolutely. So, 2001, where would you rank UCB?
We was a little ahead of our time when it come to our recording because we put that joint out, Can You See Beyond? And a lot of people looked at that joint like, oh, y'all ain't really doing the go-go things, this song structure rap shit. And then you had some people like appreciating it. It was like, man, these niggas talented, they can do this. But the city wasn't, it was like a split. It was divided. So that's why we came back with the jump back to basics. Because it was like, all right, we're going to go back to the regular go-go, how we do go-go for real with this joint here called Back to Basics. But that's what it was with that joint. I thought we was at our best around there. Like, we was peaking, like getting to be our best. I think our best was '03 to '05. That's when we really was jamming. '03, '05, that was before
Oh,
that was before
we
Sexy
gonna get
Lady.
to '03.
Yeah.
We gonna get to '03 because one of my favorite, literally my favorite go-go CD, 7/16/03, the Powerhouse tour at the Metro Club. So we're gonna get into that. I don't want to fast forward, but you just mentioned studio CDs. A lot of go-go bands have not put out actual studio CDs where you sold them in stores.
Mm-hmm.
You guys had multiple: Neighborhood Life, Can You See Beyond, Back to Basics, just to name a few. Like, how did these albums come about?
Like I said, it's called understanding, having some understanding of what you in and what you're doing. We a band, right? A live band. We from DC Go-Go. We students of the game, and we see that on Go-Go Live in '87 and all that, we seen what's going on, how the band's playing and what they playing, and a lot of them covering other songs that's on the radio, and some bands had a little originality with their own stuff. We seen that. And when you learn that you make more money and stuff or publishing and making your own original music than covering somebody else's music, then once you know that, then you just do better. You don't keep doing the same thing unless you just content with making money at live shows, just doing covers and doing shows in the go-go, like at an Aqua or something like that. That's cool, but for us, it's always been like, you see how it went. We was on the whole on the path working with Wale, trying to get national outside of the city. So like that's what we gonna be getting back to. It's just that we had a sense we broke up. We had to come back and come back to home base and scratch it back and grind back up again. But now us knowing the formula, it's just like, now it's just us. It's just time when we put the music out. We put the music out. We know what to do.
Absolutely. So 2002, 2003, UCB, one of the hottest bands, if not the hottest band. You're playing at all these shows, you're headlining. What do you think should have happened for UCB to hit that next level? Not saying you didn't hit the next level, but what do you think you could have done better? Things, shows you shouldn't have played at or shows you should have played at? Like, because I believe UCB was on a trajectory to be the biggest go-go band
I think
because of your hits, because of your consistency, because of all the things that you guys had. I think you guys didn't reach your full potential in that time, in my opinion. What do you
man,
think?
2003, 2002, 2003. That was like right before the Wale. Us me and Wale a little bit before me and Wale. And Sexy Lady before Sexy Lady came out. So I'm gonna say like after Sexy Lady came out, we should have we should have dropped the video for Sexy Lady. Not like no 3-4 years later, but right when after that joint was dropped and it was getting that buzz and all that, we should have been making a video, having that video out at that time. And I think that Trey should have went on and got the deal with Rockefeller, signed as just a solo artist because they wanted Trey because that Sexy Lady jump. And I think that if he would have signed with them, then him bringing a band on would have been easier. For his live show, the same thing we did for Wale, basically. But he had that offer to him before Kenny Burns even met Wale. You feel what I'm saying? Or kind of
Absolutely.
simultaneously.
So,
So, if he would have did that, I ain't blaming it on him, but I'm just saying my opinion, if that would have happened, a video would have been shot for that joint, Trey would have took the deal with them, whatever agreement we did with them, even if it would have took him away from us a little bit, if he would have did that, that would have helped Go-Go a lot, and UCB, but Go-Go as well. And
absolutely.
yeah, that's about, I could say that, and just having a little bit more understanding of the game when it comes to, the business side. And we was a little bit more sharper and had understanding of that. Um, I think we would have been a little bit, we would have penetrated a little bit more harder when it comes to the industry.
So 2003, Go Live 2003, to be specific. Backyard TCB, Raw Image UCB. UCB comes out with a skit that had the whole go-go, not even the go-go world, the whole DMV talking for weeks or months at end. What happened that night, and why did you guys do that skit?
Um, we felt like, first of all, these are, our brothers in the city. They doing the same thing we doing Go-Go. And it wasn't necessary for us to get violent for real with that shit. And it almost got there a couple of times with both bands. people, individuals out of both bands. You know what I'm saying? Shit got a little heated a little bit. So when we had a chance to do the show together, be all on the same together on the same show, we just felt like we could take our frustrations or whatever it is out on the stage. We thought of that, like we was going, grab up Reggie, rest in peace, Polo, and grab Big Six up and duct tape him and all that. And we got Muhammad, little brother, with big brother Jahar, and Solo, host with the most. We got them to participate as Big Six and Lil Polo. And they comedians. They was trying to be comedians, up and coming comedians at the time. So it went well. It was perfect. And we just did what we did.
Man,
But why we did
that's
it though, because we felt like TCB and Raw Image was biting. We felt like they was biting certain shit at the time. You know what I'm saying? We had Shake It Out after we used to come out of Pussy Real Good before I even heard Raw Image. You know what I'm saying? And even play ever hit Shake It Out. Like how it was on the radio. Shake It Out. Before that was out, we were saying Shake It Out back in like 99. You know what I'm saying? So I guess like that bothered us a little bit. I know it bothered me a little bit. I was young, you know what I'm saying? Like, a little wilder. I mean, me and Big Six had a few words about that. And with Polo, it was more like Lo used to come to our rehearsals and shows and, being a student of the game to us, and looking at us and shit. And he know we used to have the clap done before we go into Pump Me Up. So when we was doing the clap, and that's Pump Me Up and the Pump Me Up little get 'em girl, get 'em, and all that clap part, that's kind of like the feel of the bounce beat. But they just kept it going. When we used to do Pump Me Up, get 'em girl, get 'em girl, woo, woo. All that shit we used to do, Big Mark used to do on Get 'em Girl, Pump Me Up. Slow head, go ahead, all that shit, you just say all that shit and slow it down and speed it back up and Pump Me Up. That's, to me, is what TCB did with the bounce beat and added the clap shit and just kept it going. They ain't never stopped it and put a turnaround in the beat. They just kept it driving, just the beat going, the same bouncing it, which was smart. It was brilliant. I like it, you know what I'm saying? But I just couldn't tolerate it back then. You know what I'm saying? Like the way they approached it, my mindset was different, and the way they was approaching it, like as if they wasn't students. You know what I'm saying? Watching some of the shit that we was doing, and maybe going back and practice, taking some of our things we did and implementing it with them. All bands do it. We done it with Backyard, Optimistic Tribe, Northwest Youngins, and just what it was. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, sometimes you do it, you don't know you do it. Right. So we just thought they were showing off a little bit, smelling themselves. And so we called them out. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Both of them brothers, as the years went by, our bond and shit got closer. You know what I'm saying? Before Reg died, man, it was more cooler, tighter. Me and Six, we tighter now. You know what I'm saying? We work together with Peace of Heart with the youngins, our Oak Hill and all that shit. So, in the schools and everything. So it's different, man. We all grow.
So just to be clear, it's all love between UCB, Raw Image, and TCB.
All day. Black Bo, my man.
Just so everybody
Sweets, Black
knows.
Bo, Sweets, all them, my man. You know what I'm saying? Charlie from OTCB, all them dudes. All them guys. You know what I'm saying? We kind of grew up together. So we ain't never had no shootouts, stabbings, and you know what I'm saying? No real serious issues with each other. So it ain't no
So
beef.
UCB is going. UCB is flying high. One of the biggest bands, one of the best bands, and you encounter a situation where you can't be with the band, but the band held it down. Talk about how the band held it down with Bo leading and still putting out great performances, great music, great CDs, and keeping the band afloat while you were away.
Um, I think my band, all of us was prepared to do that if anybody leave. That's why it's still going on. It's just we had to get, make a decision, come back. So when I had to go up the road for a little bit, um, Bo just was already, he my number two, like my backup person. So he been with me from the beginning. So he know all the shit I'm saying and everything. So I didn't really think he was gonna have a problem or a hard time doing that, playing it, taking on that role at all. And he did a great job. He
Yeah, he
definitely
don't get
did.
enough credit.
He definitely did a great job. He held it down for that year, man. The whole band did. I think they did a terrific job without me being there.
Absolutely. So now UCB encounters Wale. How was that relationship? And like, how did it get started? And like, how did it blow up where you got not blow up like bad way, but blow up where you guys were on the road with Wale? You guys were, doing things with him, and like, how did that happen?
Okay. I'm thinking Trey and Kenny Burns. mm, he probably met Wale. Some of the people in the band already met Wale before I came home. But when I came home, that's when I met him. And I met him through Kenny Burns at the Looking Glass, actually. I think it's a Looking Glass, or it might be the Looking Glass on George Avenue. When it first like opened, I met Kenny Burns there and Trey. And Kenny Burns was talking about Wale and saying that's his artist. And he basically, was running it past me. I guess he already talked to Trey about it, but they was running past me as well, like what they wanted to do with Wale, what he wanted to do, and why he wanted us to help out. So he asked, can we, let Wale join it, us on stage when we perform or he got shows or whatever, vice versa. And I was like, cool, he can come up on the stage, perform with us when, we got shows. He come out, get up there and hit his song. Yeah, like that Nike jump, what that jump mean? Shake it, nah, shake it.
Dig Dug.
Dig Dug, he had the Dig Dug John, so they wanted him to perform that with us and some new Jones he was working on. So I was like, yeah, of course, he can get the mic, do his thing. So that's how we had the relationship with doing that. And then it became Wale after he had a few shows and college shows. He got with the dude Daniel Wiseman as a manager, was his manager. And we was doing more universities and shows like that. And then it just became more Wale shows and less UCB shows. Like we was kind of not doing no more shows in the city like that. You know what I'm saying? We was doing the ass Scott and all that prior to me coming home, stuff like that, but all that kind of in. We did probably the spot. I mean, what you call it? The Lime down Southwest, the Lime nightclub. Used to be in Southwest. We was still with Mr. Carter at this time. The Lime nightclub, the Venus Lounge. That used to be called the XO Lounge on K Street Northeast. We was playing in that joint, Venus Lounge, when I came home. It's like '06, '07, when I had a mohawk. Around that time, Cafe Asia. And we hang while they hanging out with us, we going to the clubs and shit, chilling, DJ Alizé, doing all that type shit. Sneaker Man Dan and all them. So that little time when we was just vibing with them, and then while they kind of took off, when he got his deal with Alito, All I Do Records, Mark Ronson and Rich Kleiman in there, they took off. And he had a tour. Mikey Blue Jones, Tension Deficit, all that shit started coming up. And that you took UCB away from the city even more because we on road, we Wale, but it wasn't the whole band. You know what I'm saying? It was just the back line and Trey for the most part. And I would ride up to the shows that I can make it to, like driving, I can get to New York, Philly, and I perform with the band at the shows and shit. It might be me, Wale, Waco Dash, and the band, all us doing our thing up there. And then I just go up there and perform Sexy Lady or a verse on Nike Boots, a freestyle joint that I wrote or something. And that was it. And that was going well. Everything was cool. Because we was trying to help Wale push his shit. Like you trying like we was the band supporting his music. And he was trying to push us to Alito and them, like, look, these a band, they have you need to sign these guys trying to really get us in. But when our drummer Irk went away, and I wasn't in the need to be there all the time. It's Trey, he needed a back line, and Trey, not me, because I rap. So it was still a bit conflict of interest a little bit. Both of us had dreads. He could say, like, Mike, when Mike off the stage after he do his part, because he was a conflict of interest. And he lead talking, so it's like he leading the band, and you supposed to be the sound guy and all that. So all that shit was mentioned. And yeah, Trey just, I don't think he was able to deal with the whole band. You know what I'm saying? When Irk was there, Irk held the musicians down and everything else was going on, but Trey couldn't do all that shit at the same time and be Wale hype man. I think the pressure to that like took over. And shit just started falling apart. You know what I'm saying? Niggas weren't trying to practice. Niggas weren't trying to do certain shit. It was just a lot of shit going on. You know what I'm saying? Niggas was impatient about their checks and shit. Checks getting cleared from universities and shows and shit. There's a lot of that type of shit going on. So once that happened, all that shit just fell apart. You know what I'm saying? My part in that was being the person like I am now talking. So like I would be the person people would come to me in the band about an issue about, I ain't getting my money, this and that. And I go address it to the people who I feel responsible for or who can give me the answers. Well, after a while, people, felt like, that shit don't matter with me addressing them about that shit. Like they on another level now. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit bigger than the old UCB. We in the industry now. So like motherfuckers ain't keeping up. They don't understand, then they just get left behind type shit. And I was a representative for everybody. Like I wasn't playing that bad shit. Like I'm playing fair. You know what I'm saying? Niggas got a problem, address it, whoever it was. So that's what had got me out of the situation. You know what I'm saying? So once I got out of the situation, it was over with. And then it was them UCB, they was while they performing and still saying UCB. And I said something about that shit. It's like, just don't use the name. Cause niggas keep back home asking where y'all at, Mike, where Bo at, where G Money at. They only see Trey on the mic at the BET Awards or whatever, MTV Awards, shit like that. So I'm saying, don't use our name that we work hard for. You know what I'm saying? We not a part of that shit no more. Cool. So that's what it is, man. So that's how that went.
So basically, that part of the band stayed with Wale, and your part of the band went with you, and basically you guys separated, and
They fired Big
super
Marcus, the
beef.
keyboard player, who was the original keyboard player who made up all of the shit. Splash Girl, Gangsta Walk, 9/8 Music, Pump Me Up, Rock Your Body, Get, all that shit he came up with. So they fired him, and they eventually got me out of the way. They ain't really need G Money and Bo. I just was the person coming to his Sexy Lady because that was our hottest song that we would perform with Wale on his shows. So Trey had hit that. And I'm rapping on it, so they like, it's a no-brainer to have Mike rap on the joint, but they wasn't missing that shit after they got me out of the situation. I got out of the situation because I said something about people not getting their money. Slump was one of the dudes in the band. He wanted his money. And he came to my house, Tim Body Slump, he wanted his money. He was like 6 checks in or some shit like that. And he didn't get his pay, which was understandable. Came to my house, you know what I'm saying? And, he was expressing that, how he wanted his money and how he needed his money, and ain't nobody ain't saying shit. So that nobody ain't saying shit is Trey, because he the one who's the leader now that Irk gone for a while, you know what I'm saying? He the one who's running shit that they looking to, like the trust that, take care of on the road. So Yeah, man. He not when Trey kind of like got tired and fed up or whatever with the shit, just wasn't tending to that shit no more. They came to me, and then when I said something, just it was messy, little dumb shit, and it was just motherfuckers couldn't ain't know how to ain't know how to make that shit happen, man. It could have been easily addressed if people would have communicated. That's all I'm gonna say. If you ain't communicating, ain't saying nothing, you just doing shit and making moves and decisions that affect everybody, then you're gonna get what happened. Damn, the shit and crumble.
Absolutely. So UCB is still a band. UCB is still playing. How do you guys deal with that after? Because I know you guys were gone for a couple years, and then you guys come back with the reunion. I think the first reunion show was at the Layla Lounge.
Yeah,
How does that come about?
the one at the later lounge, it was still kind of fresh. A little right after we kind of broke up. So it really wasn't that long, or maybe a year, because he stopped playing in 2011 and did that in 2013. So it was like a year and some change months that we broke up, and then we did that at the later lounge. It just so much shit just kept happening after back to back to back after 2011 that everything that went forward then it was just like predicated on like okay, let's try this shit one time and see if we can do a reunion or something like that. We did that one year and then we did it again at Howard Theater, but even with that, man, it's a lot of greedy people, man. That's all I'm gonna say.
So you fast forward 2015. You guys already did the first reunion at the Later Lounge. You did the second reunion at Howard Theater, and then I brought you to the Howard Theater for the UCB MOB show.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that, Joan?
Yep.
Man, I just gotta put my show in there because I need the people to tell, need you to tell the people how lit that joint was like that night.
Yeah, it was a great show. I got the footage. I'm gonna use some of it for the promo, 25th anniversary promo. So yeah, that was a great show. Yep, UCB 25th anniversary, October 29th at the Sandlot Anacostia at 5 to 10 p.m. Get your tickets on Eventbrite. Search UCB 25th anniversary. It's going down.
Yes, sir. So UCB is still playing 2017, 18, 19, 20,
Yep.
21,
I'm gonna say
22.
we broke up from like 12 to 17. Officially 2012. We both came back in 14. 13 did a jump. 14 did a jump. 15 did a jump. Nothing in 16. Nothing in 17. We came back in the end of 17. End of
Okay, so
2017.
I had my dates wrong. Excuse me. So 2017, UCB is back. UCB second run. How was it getting new band members and still being able to produce the same crank that you guys had years ago? Because UCB still cranks. You still got new records to twerk for me. It's so many new things that you guys are doing. So tell us about the new things that you guys are doing.
Oh man, it was definitely difficult getting the new members and dealing with the new members. We probably had about we still got the four original members. There's me, G Money, Bo, and Big Marcus, right? That's three vocalists and our main keyboard player. Everybody else that's with us now has been with us for at least a year or more. But the first year, 17 and 18, man, that was crazy for us, man. Like we had probably like about four keyboard players come through, three bass players. I just wasn't used to that shit. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm used to like working with the same guys from '97 all the way to 2012. You know, we had JR come back for a little bit, and he played lead guitar with us. But yeah, it was hard, man, coming back off the break. And then around 19, right before COVID and all that shit happened, we dropped that truck for New Jump. And once we did that, that job like gave us some legs. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, but it's still really not because a lot of people they ain't know it was UCB that's hitting the jump. They hear a new single on there, they don't hear Trey voice, but they hear somebody singing. So they like, that can't be UCB. They don't even know if UCB back with Trey or not or none of that. So I understand that part. But now that we've been consistent doing what we've been doing, I feel like we back ringing, we ringing bells again.
Absolutely.
I think
You
we are.
you
We got Trust for Me. We got the new joint we about to drop called Buck Getting Big. That joint live. We got the joint, original joint, never original joint, called Paradise, written by my man DB, NPC Music. That's part of our band. He our singer, our new singer. So we got some original hot music coming out, man. And we got a good team, media team. So we ready to push.
abs-
We pretty much set up and ready and prepared for anyone that has something bigger to offer. They could be like, look, these guys ready. And you know what I'm saying? There's a label or distribution company, any type of deal that can like project our shit. They can be like, hey, these guys ready. They ready to do original music. They ready to take photos. They got an LLC for-profit joint. They got a non-profit joint. You know what I'm saying? They got their business account together. You know what I'm saying? Everything straight.
well, we'll talk about that because I might know somebody for you in reference to that, but we'll talk offline on that. UCB 25th anniversary. It's 25 years. How does that feel?
Feel like about 10. Feel like 10. Feel like I can go another 25.
You sure?
Yeah. I don't really,
Okay.
I feel like I can go another 25. I'm gonna say not
You
me
can
on the
get Chuck
stage,
Brown out there.
not me on the stage moving my legs and shit, but I can be 25 more in the game and really be actively in the game somehow in this industry, in this realm, in this field.
Absolutely. Another big show that you got coming up, other than UCB 25th anniversary, at the Sandlot and Anacostia. Make sure y'all get y'all tickets. You also have the Mad Chef reunion, TCB, Raw Image, UCB. Man, how does it feel to be on stage with those bands that you were rivals, not rivals with, but you every
We
time
was
go-go
somewhat rivals
bands,
back then.
yeah, so but every time go-go bands get on stage, you're like their thought process is to outcrank the next band. So that was any band. So like, how does it feel to be on stage with these guys? Bringing back some good memories and bringing back.
I don't know how I feel because I ain't do it yet, but I can give you an assumption what I can assume it's gonna feel like. It's gonna feel like Raw Image and TCB, if they come in on them type of terms, that it's gonna be an even challenge, a fair challenge with all three bands. And
Made a
I say that to say because we all lost some, you know. Polo ain't with TCB no more, God bless his soul. Um, I'm sure Raw Image, they ain't lose some of the members, they might be the ones coming to hard. Say that. They might be the ones who are for that actual show is ready to go hard on that jump. Really like try to outclank both of us. And if they playing in the middle too, they really gonna try to outplay both of us. But the advantage that UCB have over both of these bands is that we can do what they do, but they can't do what we do. And our energy different, way different. We just got a different vibe.
So we're gonna leave it there, right there. Roc Mikey.
Let's go, Big
Goat
Six.
Talk.
Let's go, Black.
Goat Talk at the print shop. We appreciate you
Let's
coming
go, Black
in.
Bo.
And
Let's get it, baby. You know y'all gonna bring
It's-
y'all A game.
may the best band win that night. And make sure you get your tickets, Eventbrite, for both events. Mad Chef Reunion, November 5th. Sandlot Anacostia, UCB 25th anniversary.
Y'all don't
Make
want to
sure you
miss
get
these
your
events.
tickets.
Y'all don't want to miss these events, man. Especially that November the 5th jump and October the 29th.
Nah, both of them. You can't miss neither.
We got a lot of events coming up, but them two I just named, October the 29th and November the 5th, don't miss them events.
Man, get your popcorn ready because
Get your
this is gonna be
popcorn
one.
ready.
So we thank you, Roc Mikey. We appreciate you. Goat Talk at the print shop. I know you remember the print shop, right?
Yep.
Yep. See, that's why we named it for the culture. It's called the print shop because that's where everybody went to get they flyers, they news, they info, all of the rumors, all the gossip, everything. Everybody, all the promoters. If you was really outside, you know what the print shop is. So
Okay.
we're gonna leave it at that. Thank you, Roc Mikey. We appreciate you.
I appreciate you. Yeah, it's your boy Roc Mikey UCB, and I'm that Go Talk at the print shop. You heard?